Welcome back to Frimmer Language, the podcast where we help you improve your English through slow, easy, and natural conversations that are designed to strengthen both your listening and speaking skills step by step in a relaxed and comfortable way.
In today's episode, we are going to practice slow and easy English together, and we will focus on simple daily conversations that help beginners understand spoken English more clearly while also learning how to respond naturally.
Many English learners understand grammar and vocabulary when reading, but they often feel nervous when they need to listen or speak in real conversations because spoken English can sound fast and unfamiliar at first.
That is why practicing with slow and natural conversations is so important, because it gives learners enough time to follow the ideas, understand pronunciation, and become more comfortable hearing English regularly.
Today we will talk about simple daily life topics that are easy to understand and useful for real communication, because practicing familiar situations helps learners build confidence more naturally.
Yes, and while you listen, try to focus on understanding the meaning of the conversation instead of worrying about every single word, because listening becomes easier when you pay attention to the main ideas.
Let's begin by talking about daily routines, because this is one of the most common topics in beginner-level English conversations and includes vocabulary that people use every day.
My daily routine usually starts early in the morning because I like having enough time to prepare for the day calmly, instead of rushing through everything at the last minute.
That sounds very organized, and I also prefer waking up early because quiet mornings help me feel more relaxed and focused before starting work or other responsibilities.
After I wake up, I usually drink water, prepare breakfast, and spend some time checking my schedule so that I know what tasks and responsibilities I need to complete during the day.
I have a similar routine, and sometimes I listen to English podcasts while eating breakfast because it helps me practice listening in a calm and enjoyable way before work begins.
That is a very useful habit because regular listening practice, even for short periods each day, can slowly improve your understanding and help spoken English feel more natural.
After breakfast, I usually spend a few minutes organizing my tasks and deciding which responsibilities are most important so that I can manage my time more effectively.
Planning ahead can reduce stress during busy days because having a clear schedule makes it easier to stay focused and productive throughout the day.
Now let's talk about transportation, because many daily conversations include discussions about traffic, travel time, or different ways people move around their cities.
I usually take public transportation because it allows me to relax during the trip, and sometimes I even use that time to review English vocabulary or listen to short lessons.
That sounds very productive, and I think using travel time for listening practice is a great idea because it turns an ordinary activity into an opportunity to improve your English skills.
Yes, and making English part of your daily routine is one of the best ways to stay consistent without feeling like you always need extra study time.
Another very common topic in conversations is food, because people often talk about what they eat, where they like to go, or what meals they enjoy preparing at home.
I personally enjoy simple and healthy meals because they are easier to prepare during busy weekdays and help me feel energetic throughout the day.
I also prefer simple meals during the week, although I enjoy trying different restaurants or new dishes with friends whenever I have free time on weekends.
Trying different foods can be very enjoyable because it allows people to experience new flavors, cultures, and interesting conversations with others.
Now let's discuss hobbies and free time activities, because this is another topic that appears very often in casual conversations and social situations.
In my free time, I enjoy reading books, listening to music, and going for walks because these activities help me relax and reduce stress after busy days.
I also enjoy walking in quiet places because it gives me time to think clearly, and sometimes I listen to English audio while walking so that I can practice at the same time.
That is a very smart habit because combining English practice with daily activities can help learners improve more consistently without feeling overwhelmed.
Another useful topic for beginners is work or study, because many conversations include questions about schedules, responsibilities, or future goals related to jobs and education.
My workdays are usually quite busy because I need to complete several tasks, communicate with colleagues, and manage different responsibilities throughout the day.
I understand that completely because busy schedules can sometimes feel stressful, especially when there are deadlines or unexpected problems that need immediate attention.
That is why good organization and clear communication are very important because they help people stay calm and solve problems more effectively.
Before we continue, we would like to remind our listeners to subscribe, like, comment, and share this podcast if you are enjoying these slow and easy English conversations, because your support helps us continue creating detailed lessons for learners around the world.
Your comments and feedback are extremely valuable to us because they help us understand what kind of topics and speaking styles are most useful for your English learning journey.
Now let's talk about shopping, because this is another very common real-life situation where English listening and speaking skills can be extremely useful.
I usually make a shopping list before going to the store because it helps me stay organized and avoid forgetting important things that I need to buy.
That is a very practical habit because shopping can sometimes become stressful when stores are crowded or when people are in a hurry and trying to find many items quickly.
Yes, and planning before shopping can also help people save money because they are less likely to buy unnecessary things impulsively.
Another popular topic is weather, because people often begin conversations by talking about temperature, rain, sunshine, or seasonal changes happening in their area.
I personally prefer cool weather because it feels more comfortable for walking, exercising, or spending time outdoors without becoming tired too quickly.
I agree because very hot weather can sometimes feel exhausting, especially when people need to travel, work outside, or spend long periods away from air conditioning.
Weather may seem like a simple topic, but it is actually very useful for beginners because these conversations happen naturally in everyday life.
Now let's talk about English learning itself, because many learners enjoy discussing their study habits, challenges, and progress with other people who are also learning the language.
One challenge many learners experience is understanding fast conversations, but this usually becomes easier when they practice listening regularly, with slow and clear English first.
I think patience is extremely important when learning a language because improvement usually happens gradually through repetition, exposure, and consistent daily practice.
Yes, and learners should remember that even small practice sessions can create noticeable progress over time if they continue practicing consistently.
As you listen to this conversation, try to notice how sentences are connected naturally and how ideas flow smoothly from one topic to another without sounding forced or robotic.
Listening carefully to pronunciation, sentence rhythm, and natural pauses can also help improve your speaking skills, because listening and speaking are closely connected.
Another useful strategy is repeating sentences aloud after hearing them because this helps improve pronunciation, speaking confidence, and memory at the same time.
Even if your pronunciation is not perfect at first, practicing regularly will help your speech become clearer and more natural little by little.
In the next part of this lesson, we will continue with more easy and natural conversations that focus on daily situations, useful vocabulary, and speaking practice for beginners.
We will also include more realistic examples and simple discussions that can help you feel more comfortable listening to and speaking English in everyday situations.
Now that we have practiced several daily life topics together, let's continue with more natural conversations that can help you improve both your listening and speaking skills in a calm and comfortable way. The more often you hear simple English used naturally, the easier it becomes to understand and respond confidently.
Yes, and it is important to remember that listening and speaking improve together because hearing natural sentence patterns regularly helps learners produce their own sentences more smoothly over time.
Let's talk about weekends, because this is a topic that appears very often in casual conversations between friends, co-workers, classmates, and even family members. People usually enjoy talking about how they spend their free time after a long week of work or study.
During weekends, I usually try to relax and spend time doing activities that help me recharge mentally and physically, especially after busy weekdays with many responsibilities and tasks. Sometimes I stay home and rest, while other times I meet friends or visit new places around the city.
That sounds like a healthy balance because resting is important, but spending time with other people can also improve your mood and help you feel more connected and positive. I personally enjoy quiet weekends where I can relax, organize my schedule, and prepare for the next week calmly.
Preparing for the next week in advance is a very good habit because it helps reduce stress and makes busy mornings feel more manageable and less overwhelming.
Another very common topic in conversations is family because people often talk about their parents, siblings, children, or relatives during casual discussions and social situations. Family conversations are useful for beginners because they include simple but meaningful vocabulary and sentence structures.
I enjoy spending time with my family because we support each other, share experiences, and help one another during difficult or stressful situations. Even simple activities like eating together or talking about our day can feel very important and comforting.
I completely agree because strong family relationships can create emotional support and help people feel more relaxed and motivated in daily life. Many people also enjoy discussing family traditions, celebrations, or shared memories during conversations.
Yes, and these kinds of conversations are excellent for English learners because they allow people to describe emotions, experiences, and relationships in a natural and personal way.
Now let's discuss learning habits because many English learners want to know how they can improve more effectively without feeling stressed or overwhelmed by the process. Creating simple and realistic habits is often more useful than trying to study for many hours only occasionally.
I think one of the best learning habits is practicing a little every day, because consistent exposure to English helps learners remember vocabulary and improve comprehension more naturally over time.
I also believe that listening practice is especially important because understanding spoken English is often one of the biggest challenges for beginners who are still becoming familiar with pronunciation and sentence rhythm.
That is very true because many learners understand written English better than spoken English at first, especially when conversations happen quickly or include connected speech.
Another helpful strategy is speaking out loud while practicing because this allows learners to become more comfortable producing English sounds and forming sentences naturally. Even speaking alone can improve confidence significantly.
Yes, and learners should not be afraid of making mistakes, because mistakes are a normal and necessary part of language learning and communication improvement.
Now let's talk about technology and communication, because phones, computers, and online platforms are part of everyday life and appear constantly in modern conversations. Technology vocabulary is very useful because people often discuss messages, apps, online meetings, and social media activities.
I use my phone frequently during the day for communication, work, and learning. And sometimes I listen to English podcasts or watch short videos when I have free time. Technology can be very helpful for language learners when it is used in productive ways.
I agree because online resources make learning much more flexible, especially for people who have busy schedules and cannot attend regular classes every day. Listening to English while traveling, exercising, or relaxing can turn ordinary moments into useful learning opportunities.
That is one reason why podcasts are so effective, because learners can practice listening almost anywhere while still following natural and realistic conversations.
Before we continue, we would like to remind our listeners to subscribe, like, comment, and share this podcast if these slow and easy English conversations are helping you improve your listening and speaking skills. Your support allows us to continue creating long and detailed lessons that are designed specifically for English learners around the world.
We truly appreciate every comment, message, and share because your feedback helps us understand what kind of lessons you enjoy most and what topics you would like us to discuss in future episodes.
Now let's discuss travel and vacations, because many people enjoy talking about places they have visited, trips they want to take, or experiences they had while traveling. Travel conversations are useful because they include practical vocabulary related to transportation, hotels, restaurants, and directions.
I enjoy traveling because it allows me to experience different cultures, meet new people, and learn more about the world outside my daily routine. Even short trips can feel exciting because they create new experiences and memories.
Traveling can also improve communication skills because people often need to ask questions, understand directions, or solve unexpected problems while visiting unfamiliar places.
Yes, and many learners feel motivated to improve their English because they want to travel more confidently and communicate more comfortably with people from different countries.
Another interesting topic is entertainment because people frequently discuss movies, television shows, music, and online videos during casual conversations with friends or co-workers. Entertainment topics are enjoyable and help learners hear natural opinions and emotional expressions.
I enjoy watching movies in English because they expose me to realistic conversations, pronunciation patterns, and common expressions that people use in everyday life. Even if I do not understand everything, I still learn useful vocabulary and listening patterns.
That is a very effective learning method because movies and shows often include emotional communication, informal expressions, and natural speaking speed that textbooks cannot fully provide.
Yes, and repeated exposure to natural English through entertainment can gradually improve listening confidence and help learners understand spoken English more comfortably.
Now let's talk about stress and relaxation because modern life can become very busy, and many people discuss how they manage pressure, responsibilities, and emotional balance. This topic includes useful vocabulary related to emotions, routines, and healthy habits.
When I feel stressed, I usually try to slow down, rest for a while, and focus on activities that help me relax mentally and physically. Listening to music, walking outside, or spending time with supportive people often helps me feel calmer.
I think taking short breaks during busy days is very important because constant stress can reduce focus, energy, and motivation over time. Even a few quiet minutes can sometimes improve productivity and emotional balance significantly.
I think taking short breaks during busy days is very important because constant stress can reduce focus, energy, and motivation over time. Even a few quiet minutes can sometimes improve productivity and emotional balance significantly.
I think taking short breaks during busy days is very important because constant stress can reduce focus, energy, and motivation over time. Even a few quiet minutes can sometimes improve productivity and emotional balance significantly.
That is very true because maintaining a healthy balance between work, responsibilities, and personal relaxation is important for both mental and physical well-being.
As you continue listening to these conversations, try to notice how ideas are explained slowly and clearly while still sounding natural and conversational. Understanding this speaking style can help you improve your own communication skills gradually.
Yes, and practicing these patterns out loud can help you develop smoother pronunciation, better sentence rhythm, and more confidence when speaking English yourself.
Another useful listening strategy is replaying conversations several times because each repetition helps you notice vocabulary, pronunciation, and details that you may have missed before.
Many learners are surprised when they realize how much more they understand after listening carefully to the same conversation multiple times with patience and focus.
It is also important not to compare your progress with other learners because everyone improves at a different speed depending on practice habits, experience, and confidence levels.
The most important thing is to continue practicing regularly and stay motivated even when progress feels slow or difficult at times.
Remember that every listening session helps train your brain to recognize English sounds and sentence patterns more naturally, even when you do not notice immediate improvement right away.
That is why consistency is so powerful, because small daily practice sessions can create major progress over time when learners continue practicing patiently.
As we move toward the final part of this lesson, we hope these conversations are helping you feel more comfortable understanding slow and natural spoken English in realistic situations.
We also hope that practicing with these discussions is helping you build confidence in your own speaking ability, little by little through regular exposure and repetition.
In the next part, we will continue with even more realistic and detailed conversations that focus on everyday communication, useful vocabulary, and natural listening practice for beginners.
We will also include more examples of common speaking situations so that you can continue improving your listening, comprehension and conversational confidence step by step.
Thank you for continuing this practice session with us and for spending your time improving your English skills through listening and speaking exercises. Your dedication and consistency are extremely important for long-term progress.
We truly appreciate your support and motivation, and we hope these lessons are helping you enjoy the learning process while becoming more confident with English every day.
Please remember to subscribe, like, comment, and share this podcast if you want more slow and easy English lessons that focus on real communication and natural listening practice. Your support helps us continue creating useful learning content for English learners everywhere.
We truly appreciate your support and motivation, and we hope these lessons are helping you enjoy the learning process while becoming more confident with English every day.
Please remember to subscribe, like, comment, and share this podcast if you want more slow and easy English lessons that focus on real communication and natural listening practice. Your support helps us continue creating useful learning content for English learners everywhere.
Let's continue together into the final part of this lesson, where we will practice even more natural English conversations and help you strengthen both your listening and speaking skills through detailed and realistic discussions.